Hey folks, Mike here, the Ashamed Canadian, and I just thought I would stop in and let's see how many Canadians we can get in here. Let's talk about Canadian law for a change instead of just American law. As you guys all know, I'm going to put this out here now, okay? I am 54 years old. I've been an activist since I've been 18. Okay? So that's 36 years I've been doing this. Just because I don't have it on video doesn't mean that I haven't been doing it. You can go back and check back in the 80s when over 150 of us chained ourselves to Parliament Hill to get the changes made in the Privacy Act and the Human Rights Act for the shelters and drop-in centers. You know, that was our group that actually did that. Okay, so for you guys out there saying that I've never done anything for this fucking community, you know what? If it wasn't for us fighting here in Canada to have that changed, a lot more fucking people would be dead right now. And just so that you all know, I'm one of the very first people in Canada to start a needle exchange program back in the 80s, okay? It was started at a Brunswick Street, or out of All Saints Church Friendship Center at the corner of Sherbourne Dundas in downtown Toronto. And I was working with a lady by the name of Diane Baker that started an organization called Street Health. And that's how we started the needle exchange program in Canada. So for you guys to go out there and say that I don't do nothing, you know what? Just because I don't have that camera in my hand all the time, you know, I've had cameras in my hand. I've had the Halifax police literally take and smash my cameras. I've had the Halifax police literally steal my cell phone from me and charge me for owning a cell phone. Okay, and I can show you the paperwork on that too. I got 1 day in jail and a $10 fine for owning a fucking cell phone. Now, get that into you, motherfuckers. Okay? I'm sick and tired of all you guys coming around and saying that I don't do anything and that I'm not an auditor or that. I never claimed to be an auditor to begin with. I claim to be an activist, okay? And not all activists walk around with a fucking camera. And when we do, you know, 9 times out of 10 back then, our cameras would get smashed. Okay? I don't own a cell phone anymore because my cell phone's dead. It just won't turn on. For me to go out and do a live audit on YouTube, you need 1,000 subscribers and you need over 4,000 watch hours. I don't have that. So how am I supposed to go out and do that if nobody's going to help support me so that I can go out there and do this? Okay? I'm not asking for money or anything else like that. All I'm asking for is your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Okay? That's it. If you guys want to, donate or whatever, let me know. I'll fucking give you my PayPal account. I'll give you my address. I'll give you my email, whatever you want. If you guys, you know, I'm not here asking for it though, okay? Now, I live on less than $800 a month and my rent is $500. Okay? I spend another $150 for food. I spend another $60 on my cat because he's my therapy cat. And I spend another $40 just to have a cell phone, which I don't have anymore. Oh, thanks, V Team Paranormal. Nova Guy, Barbara Downey, Gypsy Auditor UK, big respect to you, brother. Melvin, big respect to all of you guys, man. I really appreciate every one of you guys. So for people saying that I'm not doing anything for, you guys might want to call it the A1 community. I call it the the 2B or the 2C, I mean the Charter of Rights, Section 2, which is freedom of religion, freedom of free speech, freedom of press. And it seems like nobody understands this. Now, we got all these people that are out there that are, for some reason, is scared of cameras. Now, let's hold on a second, folks. And no, I'm not smoking a joint. I'm smoking rolled cigarettes because I can't afford to even buy cigarettes. So, and I don't ask people for money or for smokes or anything like that. Yes, I smoke weed. Haven't had any in a day. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. If you guys, like I said, keep pushing, bro, you will get there. I'm trying. I really am. The biggest jump that I got in my YouTube channel was when I was arrested in my bedroom. It took me almost 2 months to find out the officer's name, and they won't do anything. I filed a complaint, and I know what's going to happen with it. They're going to come back and say that the cop was in the right and blah, 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 and there's nothing I can do about it, even though it was streamed live right here, and there was an 11-hour and some odd minute video of the whole thing, or 10 hours and whatever. It was there. So the video is there. It shows exactly what I did. If I'm not allowed to tell a cop that I don't respect him and to shut up in my own house, but yet he can come in and start barking orders at me and tell me what to do in my own house, there you go, Thibault, or whatever the fuck your goof ass name is. Just remember, I'm coming for your fucking job. This is not over by a long shot, okay? You guys want to come in and fucking violate my constitutional rights and everything, and because you're fucking butthurt over a few words, well, you're going to get butthurt over a lot of fucking words now, because I don't give a fuck what you do. If I see anything, I will record you. And if you smash my camera, I will have a body cam on also. And as soon as I can, and that's why I'm looking to get another phone, and to be able to have the support there so that I can go live, so that I can show you guys exactly how these guys actually act here in Moncton, New Brunswick. Now, here in Moncton, Moncton is the only city that is run by the RCMP. All the rest of the cities and towns in New Brunswick have their own police force. St. John has their own police force. Hey, Annie Fan, how you doing, my brother? You're a real hero. Just wanted to say, hey, well, thank you, Annie Fan, and I appreciate you. You don't know how much I appreciate you. There are a couple of you that really, really went above and beyond what you had to do. But you went above and beyond, and you reached out, and I appreciate all the help that you have done for me. You don't know how much that helped. So it's not that I'm not grateful for people, because you don't know how grateful I am. Just somebody sharing my video so that it gets out there is enough for me. Now, like I was saying, I have $800 a month, and $780 of it goes towards bills and rent. So I got maybe $20 to my name. The same in reverse. If you sacrifice life and limb to hold folks accountable, that is heroism, going above and beyond. Yeah, well, yeah. I've taken a lot of beatings by the police. I was beat up really bad in 2000 by the Toronto police for turning in dirty cops. And to this day, I'm still not allowed in Ontario. They made up a bunch of false charges and stuck them out there back in 2000. So for the last 21 years, I've had outstanding charges in Ontario. And that's just so that they could shut me up. But it didn't work because they ran me out of the province, and then I went after them that way. I didn't get much out of it. I wasn't looking for much out of it. I just wanted my legal fees paid for in that, and those cops held accountable. Now, it wasn't just my testimony that did it. It was about 40 plus other people's testimony that actually got these cops put in jail. So, so after that happened, I was chased out. About 10 years later, I came back. I was in Ottawa, and I just bought a quarter-pound of pot. Unfortunately, it was all broken up into dime bags. But at the time, I had a card saying that I was legally allowed to smoke pot because of my PTSD and because of the chronic pain. But they didn't care. Someone had mentioned something to a cop saying that I was selling dope. The cop, no warrant, no nothing, just comes right up, grabs a hold of me, throws me up against the fence. Epic would know exactly where this is. I had mentioned it to him, exactly the spot where it happened, and right down at the corner of Murray and King Edward, I believe it is. They came up, just grabbed a hold of me, threw me up against the fence, put the handcuffs on me, and then started searching me, and then started searching my bag. No warrant, no nothing. Just the word of somebody on the street. Which, as far as I know, is illegal in Canada because they have to have Sci-Fi Bry. I'm going to add you as moderator, and along with Barbara Downey. Oh, sorry, NE fan. I almost unmodded you. And I can't have that because you are probably one of my favorite ones here. So, but anyways, Sci-Fi Bry and Barbara Downey, and you know what? B team, our moderator too. No, so hey man, NE fan, if I would have seen you on earlier, you need a roach clip for that, Ash. Yeah, unfortunately, it was just a cigarette. I wish I had a joint right now. I could really use it, but so We have. I'm sorry, I am not doing a StreamYard one here. Apparently, according to Dirty Mike, I always have problems with the audio. So I'd like to be able to do a panel. I just got to be able to get a better Wi-Fi connection. That and the fact that this computer is so old that well, it's not that old. It's about 2 years old, but there's so much shit that was put on it that it's corrupted, and I can't get into half of the stuff that's on my computer in that right now. And I'm thinking about just resetting the whole fucking thing and start over again. But I don't even know how to do that. So if there's someone out there that does know, I'm all ears. I would set. Oh, actually, yeah, you could still call me because my phone is forwarded to the host phone, so I was able to get that done. So people are still able to call me, but I would have to use the house phone to call anybody else. So call anybody out of Canada. I can only call people in Canada, whether it's on my cell phone or the house phone. But Nine Legs Ash, you are super well respected. I'd really like to see you back out there, but well, it's from your past experiences too. NE fan, I really want to get out there. I really do. But like I said, my problem is that don't care anymore. Unless they're actually being live streamed, they don't care because all they'll do is they'll take your equipment and smash it here. I've lost 5 cameras and 3 phones so far in the last 5 years here, just in the East Coast of Canada. One as recently as just this year, I had a camera smashed. So me going out and doing audits is a little hard right now because I don't trust these terrorists in this city. I've been fighting against the rentalsmen and the mayor and the Kodiak RCMP here in Moncton for over 6 years now. I do have the story out there, but just a quick brief. I'd rented an apartment. I'd signed a lease. And because I got into a fight with somebody on the front porch of the building, and just so you guys know, I'm going to be going back down there to the building. I am going to get as many shots and video as I can of it to show you guys exactly where. And I'm also going to get a copy of a lease agreement for New Brunswick, and I'm going to show you that. But I rented a place, and because I got into that argument, my landlord literally went into my apartment, and because I had one of those long windows in my door, he decided to put an eviction notice on the inside of the window and change the locks on my door within 5 hours. After the fight, I went for a walk. I came back 5 hours later, and that's when I seen the eviction notice and the locks were changed. The next morning, I tried to get my doctor's office to help me with this because at the time I just gotten out of the hospital after having my second heart attack. The landlord refused, and even though I'd written a letter giving them full permission to pick up all of my belongings, the landlord still refused. That night, he was caught on his own CCTV cameras throwing my stuff out and keeping what he wanted. It's Canadian Rights Media YouTube channel near where you live. Canadian Rights Media is probably about 3,500 kilometers away from me. I'm in Moncton, New Brunswick, and Canadian Rights Media is in Calgary, Alberta. So we're a few provinces away from each other. It's roughly about 3,500 kilometers away. So, sorry, got to show my Marauders and Chicks. Nice bar in Antigonish, Nova Scotia. But not that I drink or anything, but so this landlord decides to do what he wants and throw out my stuff, keep what he wanted. And the next day when I went again to get my stuff, he said that it was already thrown out. Now, in the rentalsman agreement, the landlord has to mention you. Okay. I'm getting news updates from my news channel on Facebook, which I got timed out for 24 hours on Facebook for saying that Justin Trudeau needs to be hung. Get that. They blocked me for 24 hours for saying that Justin Trudeau needs to be hung. Now, obviously, Facebook doesn't care about free speech or anything. And to say that somebody should be hung is like saying that somebody should go to jail. There's no difference because you're basically getting hung when you go to jail anyway. So I can't see how anybody could protect a pedophile like Justin Trudeau. It was 100% proven that when he was a drama teacher in Vancouver, BC, that he paid a 17-year-old an undisclosed amount of money in a non-disclosure agreement because he was having sex with her. So that just goes to show that we have a pedophile as a leader here in Canada. And then people wonder why I call myself the ashamed Canadian. I'm proud to be Canadian. I really am. But I'm ashamed at what our country is coming to because of Justin Trudeau. If it wasn't for Justin Trudeau, a lot of these lockdowns and heavy-handed bullshit fines, like the $880 fines that they're giving people, the $1,400 fines, or arresting pastors because they're having church service, which is protected under the Charter of Rights, Section 2 of freedom of religion. Justin Trudeau, I am ashamed of America. I can see why too, Barbara. I can see why you are ashamed. And I don't blame anybody for being ashamed of their country right now because of what's going on. We have dirty cops on an hourly basis being posted on YouTube. And, you know, the courts, I think your name is perfectly wrong to be ashamed of. It's a call to action to get things right. Trudeau's a big problem. That's from someone not even there. You know, a lot of people have been saying that, Annie. Trudeau is a really big problem here. When you pay a terrorist like Omar Khadr $10 million and give him a passport so that he can go to do news shows and morning talk shows and stuff like that all over North America, That's supporting terrorism, straight out supporting terrorism. And what about the people that he let, those couple of ISIS fighters that he had let back into Canada? Those guys never went to jail. They actually got a payment too. I'm not quite sure exactly how much their payment was, but they got a payment too. It's almost like they were working for Justin Trudeau, but at the time he wasn't the prime minister. So, but when you support terrorism like that, and when you start saying that the Chinese government and praising the Chinese government for how they deal with their people, you know you're I'm trying, my brother. I'm trying, but when you got these people coming back to Canada and they get more support than our troops do that come back that actually fought for our country, not fought against, but they fought for our country. And what do they get? You know, they're probably making $50,000-$60,000 a year as military personnel. That could be a little exaggerated, it could be under exaggerated, but think about it, roughly about $50,000-$60,000 a year for military people. Now, that's not really that much when you think about it, considering that the RCMP starting wage is $58,000 for a first year. And yet all they're doing is they're walking around in a free society and causing terrorism. But yet you have people that, even though I don't believe in the fact that our country should be going over and fighting other people's wars, our government seems to think that, hello, MCW Joker. I always loved your work, brother. But you have, oh, I just lost my train of thought there for a second. Thank you. Hey, brother. I've been following you for a long time. You and Spit and Cobra. There's a lot of you. You're one of the first ones. Full force England. Yes, and I'm looking forward to that because I hear James Freeman is coming and Sam Joaquin Valley Transparency is also supposed to be coming and a bunch of other people. I will be looking for your live. I will be in on one of your guys' lives or both or as many as I can. But what happened to Spit and Cobra yesterday, that was bullshit. And yes, Johnny 5-0 was saying that too, that he may be there also. If I was allowed to go to the States, I would be there in a heartbeat. I've been trying to get to do stuff here in Canada. Yes, it was. Yeah, that was all bullshit. That was all contempt of cop charge. Is all that was. The same as when I was arrested here in my bedroom. That's all it was. You had a butthurt cop that couldn't take no for an answer and didn't like it, so he used his feelings and falsely arrested him. Now, I really hope that Spit and Cobra sues the motherfucking pants off of him and the whole Glendale PD because if I'm not mistaken, they're the ones that are going around with those dirty bastard coins or something like that, where, you know, when they've Top Shelf Anarchy will be there also. Oh, right on. I'm glad that Val's going to be there. I've been a supporter of Val's there for a little bit, and I'll tell you, Val really knows how to talk. Um, I I really hope that is Mesa. Oh, sorry. uh, yeah, well, Glendale and Mesa, aren't they fairly close? And pretty much aren't all the Arizona cops under the same union there? And don't they pretty much all practice the same shit? Because it sort of seems like it after what I seen what they did to MC, or after what they did to Spit and Cobra. And there's a couple others I seen out there. So even James Freeman has got to bounce for a bit. Okay. Take care, NE fan. Like 30 plus miles. Okay, sorry, MCW. I haven't been to the state since 2001, and I haven't been to the Arizona area since the late 80s. So I'm sorry if I get my geography a little messed up, but I figured that they were pretty much the same as the way that the police unions and that run here in Canada, where all the ones in each state go under a state, except for when it comes to federal police. City police are usually under a union or something like that. Here in where I live, almost actually every major city in New Brunswick has their own police force, except for the largest city in the province, which is Moncton. And we have to deal with the federal police, which is the RCMP here. Now, if you go to try and make a complaint against a city cop, it goes through the review board for that province. If you go to make a complaint against an RCMP officer, it has to go right to Ottawa. And God bless you too, Barbara. And thanks for stopping in. But if you make a complaint about the RCMP, it has to go to Ottawa. And 99.9% of the time, they will find themselves that they did nothing wrong. Or in my case, they'll drag it out so long and then they'll say that the statute of limitations has expired for the officer, because there's only a 1 year period that you can file a complaint against an officer, and blah, 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 and all this stuff. Even though, I put in complaint after complaint after complaint, here in Canada, at least here in Moncton, the RCMP will not give you a copy and date it a copy of your complaint. They say that you filled it out so you know what's on it. But again, those keep getting lost and lost and lost. And then when I found out that in order to do it properly, supposedly properly, there's a civilian review board for the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. And so I filed several complaints with them. Every one of them come back unfounded, saying that the police were doing their job, blah, blah, blah. I'd even talked to a supervisor at the Kodiak RCMP and asked him to watch the video of my arrest, and he said that the cop did nothing wrong. So when you can get arrested in your own bedroom for defending your home against terrorists by words and words only, and you get arrested for that, you know that we have a problem with terrorists. And this isn't my first encounter with the Kodiak RCMP by any means. Quite a few years back in that building that I was living in, where the landlord ripped me off, somebody had called the police to do a wellness check on me. Now, I literally, at this point, just got out of the hospital 2 days before that. And my doctor's office was 137 steps. Literally, I counted them. 137 steps from my front door to her office. That's how close I lived to my doctor. I had to go there every day to have my blood pressure checked and be weighed and that. You know, I forget exactly, restorative health or whatever you want to call it. But I was doing that. So I had all my medical and everything. There was no reason for anybody to be coming there. Just because somebody knocked on my door and I didn't answer, they decide to call the police. So when the police show up, I don't hear anything because I've taken my sleeping pills and I'm out like a light. And they kick in my front door. And now, as they're on their way out, after I tell them exactly what's going on and tell them, get the fuck out of my house, as the last one was going out, I looked right at them and I said, and I hope you get shot. Well, they rushed all back in. 5 of them beat the living fuck out of me, handcuffed me, and then asked me what I said. And I said, I hope you get shot. It's not against the law to say that. It might be unfavorable to say that, and it might have been a little bit stupid at the time, considering that exactly a year before this, Justin Burke shot 5 cops, killing 3 of them here in Moncton. So, howdy, brother. Hope you're well. Be safe. You as well, auditing Newfoundland. I love you, brother. So, what the cops said is that when they were knocking on my door, that I was standing behind the door with that big window in it, waving my finger like a gun, saying that I'm going to shoot them. And that's what they put down on the official report, saying that that's why they kicked in my door. Now, I go to court a couple of days later. This happened on a Friday night. I had to go to court on a Monday morning, so I spent all that weekend in jail at the Shediac jail. I go to court on a Monday morning, and when I'm in the court, and now I have no lawyer or anything. I don't want a lawyer for this, and didn't need a lawyer for this. And I go to the court. The Crown attorney says that I was uttering death threats, and they had to kick in my door and arrest me, and that's why they kicked in my door. And I said, well, that's strange, because there's 2 cameras on the front deck, CCTV footage cameras, saying totally opposite. And there was a camera in my apartment that says totally opposite of what you guys put down in that narrative. I said, you guys showed up and you kicked in my door. And when I told you to leave, yeah, I might have said something stupid by, I hope you get shot. But saying something stupid is not a reason to get your ass kicked by 5 cops, and why they're restraining you and put you in handcuffs and then charge you with something. It's just not right. And it's against the law. But these guys got away with it. The Crown wanted to put this over for 6 weeks and make me sit in jail for 6 weeks for a bail hearing. And I told the judge, that's not going to happen. We're either going to deal with this right here and now, or I'm going to drag this out. I'm going to waive my right to a speedy trial, and I'm going to drag this out. It's going to cost the city maybe $1 million, maybe more dollars just to do this case, or we can deal with this right here and right now. I said, yeah, I might have said something stupid, so yeah, I plead guilty to saying something stupid. But as for uttering death threats and everything, and I said, and if you don't believe me, there's CCTV footage on the front deck of my building. And when I said that there was CCTV footage, the Crown Attorney's jaw just dropped. They put it over for an hour. They came back. They brought me up into the courtroom again, and they said, well, are you still willing to do your plea? I said, the only way I'm doing my plea and saying that I'm guilty is the fact that I walk out of this courtroom today. And other than that, this is going to judge and jury. And I will state right here in court that I waive my right to a speedy trial. He goes, listen, we look back and that because you're going to plead guilty to this, we're going to give you 1 day time served and $100 court fine non-payable. And I walked out of the court. So we have cops that like to make up charges here. And now I have that on my record of uttering threats because I pled guilty to saying something stupid. But I didn't spend no 6 weeks in jail waiting for a fucking bail hearing for something that I would have walked on anyways. Because if I would have went to one hell of a lawsuit on their hands. I am working on suing this the Kodiak RCMP right now for the last false arrest. The officer's name is Officer Thibault, spelled Theibault. He's head of the Kodiak RCMP detachment in Moncton, New Brunswick. Their phone number is 506-857-2400. Anybody wants to call and let them know what they did was wrong, even though I know that I think there was about 100 of you already that already called during that live feed. The sergeant, when I was being released, told me that my live stream was still going. I forgot to hit the other button when I was ending the stream, and so it didn't end. So it caught the whole thing, which I'm glad now. Unfortunately, this is the only way that I have protection of myself is to start recording everything. But for people saying that I've done nothing or that I'm not an auditor or that I'm not a cop watcher, that you're sadly mistaken, because I've been doing this longer than most of you guys have been on YouTube. Some of you before you were even alive. Okay? What are you? Some of you out there are what, in your 20s? I've been doing this for over 30 years, over 35 years. Okay? And you guys want to come in and start bashing me? Well, you know. And as for these people, like I've been on a few panels. I go up on panels a bit. My computer isn't the best, so some people say that when I'm on StreamYard that everything keeps breaking up all the time and that, so I don't usually go up that often. But I was asked something yesterday on somebody's panel about proving something. So when I started putting up the proof, that person told me that I should drop it. Now, if you don't want the answer, don't ask the question, because I can prove everything that I say, okay? The video evidence is out there of what we were talking about. And I think everybody in here knows what panel I'm talking about. I'm not going to say his name. I do have a lot of respect for the guy. But when you start asking questions and then say drop it, when people are trying to fucking answer your questions, it just goes to show how close-minded you can be, because you don't want to see the truth or hear the truth. You just want to believe or hear what you want to, and that's it. So don't ever ask anybody to produce proof and then say drop it, because you're not getting a, you're closing your mind off to everything, you know. You're, you know, yeah, it might be your fucking channel and that, but again, don't ask the questions if you don't want the answers. Okay, it's simple as that. Like, I hold no grudges against the guy or anything. I'm pissed that he would ask for proof, and then when you go to show proof, he says to drop it. Um, you know, it just doesn't make any sense to me, because that's, you're just closing your mind to things. You want to be in a hold people accountable according to your name, anyways, your YouTube name. But you don't want to see the proof. So I have mad respect for you, but please, if you're going to start asking for proof, wait for it. If not, don't ask. It's as simple as that. I'm a little bit hesitant of keep going back to this panel, because it seems like if things aren't going his way, he'll just end the stream. It happened today. He just up and ended the stream. So you know who I'm talking about. And like I said, I have mad respect for you. I have respect for what you've done for me. But please, if you're going to ask for proof, don't shut it down then when people start proving it to you, because it almost makes you sound like a cop. You want people to prove it, but when people start to prove it, you just ignore it or you avoid it. And that's not how accountability is done. If you want accountability, then you have to accept whether you're wrong or not. I've been proven wrong a few times, and I've never told people to just drop it, or, you know, or just walk away. I accept the fact that, yeah, well, I learned something today. Isn't that what we're all about? You know, we are a creature of society. We need human interactions. We need to be able to speak with people face to face in that. It seems like we have a lot of keyboard warriors out there, and we have a lot of people that will say to you in your chat that they're all about holding police accountable and that, but when you ask them direct questions, they just say, well, police told me not to do it, so I don't do it. You know, the police told me this, police told me that. Well, you know what? The police don't know law, period. It's a proven fact. Not one of them have, before they become a cop, have actually taken law. Over 90% of the people that become cops are straight out of high school. And to get into the RCMP, you know, you have to apply through the RCMP, which is you're trained by Canadian Forces. Any other city cop or even provincial cop, they're all trained in colleges, 6 to 9 months. Same with the RCMP. They only get like 6 to 9 months. And not one of their courses have to do with law. Now, here in Canada, there's the Constitution of Canada and the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. This should be taught in high school, period. It should be taught. It should be mandatory to this be taught in high school, because if we started teaching this in high school, when these high school students come out of high school and go to apply for that job as a cop, now they already have known about our Charter of Rights and Freedoms and our Constitution, because they learned it in high school. Right now, what we're teaching people is, if a cop asks you a question, you answer him. And that's not the right way to be teaching our kids to grow up. How many pedophile cops are out there? How many pedophile cops in the last 2 years have been caught? One was a chief. There's all these sex crimes. School resource officers beating the shit out of middle school kids, using their authority to just push kids around. Look at the 5-year-old that walked away from school, and then 2 cops berate him and fucking threaten him with handcuffs and everything. The kid's 5 years old, and they're talking to him like he's an adult. How's that kid supposed to know any better? And now how's that kid gonna look at cops? And then they wonder why there's a disconnect, because we have dirty, bitch-ass little pig cops like that like to pick on 5-year-olds, 12-year-olds, and that all over. And then they wonder why our society is growing up to hate cops. Well, you guys put the target on your back by the way you guys are acting. It's simple as that. If you guys would be more transparent, like you said that you are, if you guys would start respecting the Constitution of Canada and the Constitution of the US, whatever country you live in right now, if you started respecting that, then people would respect you. But until then, you guys have lost respect with the general public, period. And in order to gain that, you have to earn it. Respect isn't given, it's earned. And just remember that. And just because you wear a badge doesn't mean that I have to respect you. Because as far as I'm concerned, every one of you cops can line up at my fucking bathroom door, and every time I take a shit, you can lick my fucking dirty ass clean. That's how much respect you guys get from me, okay? And until you guys start changing what you're doing and start obeying the law and start being held accountable for what you guys do, you can all lick my fucking ass. And my balls are there too. They dropped quite a bit because I'm getting older, so maybe you might have a real big mouthful, okay? Come suck on my balls for a little while too while you lick my ass clean, you fucking dirty pigs. Okay? I'm really getting sick and tired of this bullshit. Every day, I'm looking at new videos, whether it's in Canada or the US, and all these cops want to do is push their fucking badge around and think that because they wear a gun and a badge that they're better than everybody else. Well, the thing of it is that you're not. You're actually below everybody else, and you have to start remembering that. Remember, you work for the people. The people are your boss. If it wasn't for taxes that pay for you, you wouldn't have a fucking job to begin with. And where do those taxes come from? Every time you buy a can of soda, every time you buy a package of cigarettes, every time you buy gas at the gas station, every time you pay your mortgage, every time you pay your rent, anything that you pay taxes on is paying for the police, okay? And people don't seem to realize that. Where is this money coming from to pay these terrorists? Well, it's coming out of our pockets, and we're paying them to terrorize us. is what we're doing. And here in Canada, we don't have enough people with enough balls to stand up to these dirty ass government officials. They're all, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, let's put our fucking diapers on our face. You know, I'm surprised that there hasn't been fucking face masks made by Pampers or Huggies or Loves, because that's all you're doing is putting a diaper on your face. Maybe people should just start and go and buy those newborn fucking diapers, put them on your face, because that's better than anything else that you're going to get. It's got layers and layers and layers of fucking padding and that in there. It would stop any spread of disease. The only thing is that you put them on, and most of you guys that are wearing them are government officials, so they get so full of shit so fast because you're talking. Everything that comes out of your mouth is nothing but lies and shit. And if it's not lies and shit, then it's support for the rich. It's support for businesses. It's support for all these other fucking groups of people that are coming to our country and everything. Now, don't get me wrong. Our country, our borders are open. Our country is founded on immigrants, the same as the U.S. It's founded on immigrants. We came over and we raped and stole the land from the indigenous people here. Okay? And yet now we're saying that it's our land. Now, as far as I'm concerned, my father was born in this country, and I was born in this country. And my grandmother was born in this country. But my great-grandfather came to this country from England, and he helped fight in the First War here in Canada. My grandfather fought in the Second War. My uncle, a couple of my uncles, fought in Vietnam. And I also have an uncle that fought in the Korean War. So to say that I'm not a Canadian and that I don't believe in Canadian rights is a far, far cry from the truth. I am ashamed that I'm here in Canada because of our government, but I'm a very proud Canadian and I support all Canadian content. I'm a huge Canadian music fan. I can name off bands that people would think that aren't Canadian that are Canadian. I'm actually working on doing a live show here in the next week or so, I'm hoping, with the group Three Scotch Inn. Now, they're from BC. I think that everybody should... I wonder. I have full permission from Scott to play any of their music on my channel. I don't know. I'm putting a link, and I'd like you guys to go check these guys out. Anybody that's pothead or anything like that, you're going to love this song. Come on. So, fuck. Let's copy this here. If you guys can, go check out this video. They are called Here's a link to a song. It's called Bong Tokes by a group called Three Scotch Inn. If you guys could all just go and check them out. I am, like I said, I am working on having them up on my show. I would play the video, but I don't know how to play it. I had it sent directly to me, but through this way here, I have no clue how to put it up or anything. Oh, there's the killer kitty behind me there, lazing around. Hey, you little fuck. Anyways, folks, we need to start picking up cameras, period. If you see something, record something. Record it, record it, record it. If you don't have a platform to record it on, send it to me. I'll put it up on mine. I believe in, let's go like this. So I put out my email there for anybody that if you don't have a YouTube channel, or if you would like it shown here, I don't have many subscribers. I think I'm up to 567 subscribers. One good thing about the subscribers I do have is that a lot of them have big channels themselves. So just because I may only be reaching a few hundred people through my friends and subs, doesn't mean that it's not reaching others. For instance, the video that I did of me being arrested here in my bedroom, I think on my channel it has about 2,700 views or something like that. San Joaquin Valley Transparency did it, and it's up to close to 45,000 views. QLD also did. In fact, when it comes to posting videos, is that if we see something that needs to be posted, we'll post it and repost it so that it gets to even more people, so that more and more people realize what's going on. And that's what we need. So if you want to, if you, like I said, if you don't have a platform to put your videos out, or if you just want to send your videos and have me put them up here, I will promote your videos and push it as much as I can. So I've seen a few other things in and around the news, and what? I have no clue what's going on. Uh, no. So, what is? There's been some things that I've been posting in my group. Um, let's just go through the.
Hi there, everyone. I've got some breaking news for you. The Speaker of the House of Commons, Anthony Broda, has just ruled that Liberals broke the rules by failing to hand over documents that were requested by Parliament.
So I'm going through some of the videos here on a tablet, and I had to borrow theirs. But it looks like the Speaker of the House found out that Liberals broke the rules of Parliament by refusing to hand over documents related to the transfer of deadly viruses from a Winnipeg lab to the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Now, I've been saying this from the beginning, that this is where it started from. It came from this ruling will debate and a vote in Parliament on government's failure to hand over these documents. What is Justin Trudeau hiding? It's time to come clean with Canadians and hand over these documents. Now, we've seen how Justin Trudeau deals with documents. He was cleared of the WE scandal, even though it was straight out proven that he was getting kickbacks from the WE group, Mark Kleinberger or whatever his name was, but or Killenberger, or the two brothers that started the WE Foundation, anyways. And now they're going in the States and they get funding in the States. But Justin Trudeau managed to get out of that, even though his mother was paid a Mercedes Benz, and him and his mother and Sophie, his wife, have been paid for speaking engagements and that, which all that money, if you think about it, just came from the Canadian government, and then now they're giving it back to these people and making it like they're more celebrities than they are politicians. Now, Sophie was a celebrity. She used to work out for the Chum Media Group. I believe it was Much Music. She worked there before she married Justin Trudeau. If I'm not mistaken, it was their entertainment. Entertainment Tonight or something like that. The one here in Canada that was run by Much Music, but she would be the closest to a celebrity that they would get. Margaret Trudeau, Justin's mother, just a big slut, going around fucking Fidel Castro and stuff like that. You know, where do you think Justin came from? So, and then you got Justin Trudeau, which is far from any celebrity. He wants to classify himself as a celebrity, but he's far from a celebrity. Channel racist broad needs more diversity. What do you mean racist? How am I being racist, Dan? How am I being racist? You tell me that right now. I've never said one thing. The only thing I'm racist against is fucking dirty cops and dirty politicians. So how am I being racist? Because I'm going after government officials and cops? Does that make me a racist? How? Explain yourself. No? No answer? See, and this is what gets me is when you get guys like that coming in and saying that I'm racist. How am I being racist? Because I don't like cops? Because I don't like government officials? Because the fact that I mentioned that we are all immigrants into this country? How am I being racist, brother? You tell me, please. Now you got me worked up because I'm far from the racist as you can get. Okay? So how am I racist? No answer? You just want to be a keyboard warrior and lip off and say shit like that and then not have anything to back it up? Come on. Let's see what you got. I dare you to show me how I'm racist. You know, I'm not even going to block you. I'm going to let you, you want to say shit like that, I'm not going to block you. But everybody else is going to see what you're going to say. And then they're going to make their own judgment on you for what you say. I've never said one thing racist or done one thing racist. And you're coming on to my channel and calling me a racist. And yet you don't have the balls to back up anything that you're saying. You just want to spout off fucking words like this and then just not have any proof. Where's your proof? I'm willing to step up. I'm willing to fucking tell you everything. Okay? I have more interracial fucking people in my family than you could fucking shake a stick at. Okay? I have a stepdaughter that's half black. And I don't hold anything against her. I think that we're all created equal. We all bleed red, except for politicians and cops. They just bleed money. So, it's been almost 5 minutes since you put that up there, bro. And you don't want to fucking answer. So obviously you're just spouting off things being a keyboard warrior. So you go ahead and you be your keyboard warrior all you want. Okay? But just remember, everything that you put up here is already screenshotted. Been recording the thing the whole time. So you can try and delete your messages, whatever, but I already got a copy of it and I will make sure that everybody sees it. So you want to be like that, I can be like that too. Okay? And like I said, I'm far from being racist. And you want to post in here that I'm racist. Where's your proof? Come on. I'm waiting for 5 minutes now, and you still haven't got the balls to back up anything that you say. Are you part of that sticky crew that like to spout off bullshit? Or maybe you're like cameras of mass destruction that likes to come in on people's live streams and that, and then porn bomb them, then say that, make a complaint to YouTube. Are you one of those type of people? Because it sure seems like it right about now. And anybody that knows Sticky, if he's anybody that's out there listening, him or fucking cameras of mass destruction, you can both suck my fucking dick. Okay? You're nothing but a bunch of fucking goofs, as far as I'm concerned. You want to go around and do shit like that? And as for fucking the fucking cameras, you're nothing but a fucking rat on top of it, because you're the one who started the shit, and then you go and you fucking make a strike against somebody for fucking having porn on them, and you're the one that fucking porn bombed them. So, and I know that for a fact because I was right there on the fucking chat when it happened. Okay? So don't fucking say that it didn't happen or anything. And even yesterday when cameras came up on fucking NNE and I mentioned it there, why he was on panel, he wouldn't even say a damn thing. And then all of a sudden he just dropped off because he knew that he was in the wrong and he knew that he was being nothing but a fucking bitch ass rat. So that's the type of people that we have to deal with in these communities when we're out doing activism and police accountability and government accountability and shit like that. These are the people that we got to deal with. You get guys like this fucking Dan that says this channel, Racist Bra, needs more diversity. Well, I'm still waiting to find out where the racist part of any of this hour and 18 minutes that I put up here mentions anything to do with racism whatsoever, other than the fact that Dan L brought it up. And as for cameras, hey, it's all out there. You don't believe me, go to Dirty Mike and you can talk to him. Ask NNE or NE fan. There was a bunch of us on at the time. News Now, Tammy Lynn. We were there. We were on panel when cameras mass destruction came up. Mike asked him to show his face and everything. He showed his face, put his avatar up, and once his avatar was up and he was on panel, he decided to put a naked chick with a bunch of guys with their dicks hanging out over her face as an avatar. And then he makes a report to YouTube saying that Mike's showing porn. And then his YouTube channel, his broadcast got shut down because of it. So that was 100% cameras of mass destruction doing that. And if these are the type of people that you support out there, don't come to my channel, okay? Because I don't need to listen to any of that bullshit. None of yous. I probably won't be doing many panels to begin with, and when I do, there's only going to be a handful of people that I'll actually let up anyway. So, and those are the people that I know that won't porn bomb me or be dickheads like this fucking Dan L. Come on, Dan. Where's your fucking proof? You come in, you fucking write this bullshit on my channel, and then you got nothing to back it up. You just want to go around like a fucking cameras or a sticky. You know what? I hope you never come back to this channel. I really do. And if you're subbed, I hope you unsub, because I don't need subs like you. Okay? I'm in this to get the news out and to let people know what's going on in this neighborhood that I live in. If you don't like that, then fuck off. It's as simple as that. There's over 90 million other channels out there on YouTube that you can watch and get your jollies off. Or maybe you just like going to YouPorn or fucking kitty porn or something like that. But there's over 90 million other YouTube channels out there. And yet you want to come on and you want to bitch at people. You want to make false accusations against people. And then you don't have the balls to back it up. Well, hey man, you want my fucking number? You can call me. You want my fucking address? I'll give it to you so that you can show up here. I don't care. I will dox myself. Okay? Yeah, my name's the Ashamed Canadian. But look me up. My real name is Mike Laybolt. And I live in Moncton, New Brunswick. You want my phone number? 506-471-6702. You got any balls? Call me, bitch. I don't give a fuck anymore. You guys, my information's out there. I don't give a fuck if I get doxxed or not. Okay? So you want my exact mailing address? It's 39 Marsh Street, bitch. Come to my door. I fucking dare you. I got more cameras on this fucking place than you would shake your stick at. They're not my cameras, but there's cameras all over this fucking house that I live in. Okay? So you come on up. Yeah, I dare you to even fucking come into the fucking park, let alone onto my fucking property. Because this whole area that I live in is all private property. So you want to come in here, I guarantee you won't be walking back out. Okay? So my address is there. Come on, and if you think that you're going to do something, come and do it. If not, shut the fuck up and get the fuck off my channel. It's simple as that. So, oh, look at that. I didn't know that. But so this is what Dan wrote. This channel, Racist Broad, needs more diversity. This is from Dan L. So this will obviously be all over the internet. I hope that everybody shares the living hell out of this. So let's get back to what's happening here in Moncton. We have a corrupt mayor that just got reelected. I don't know how it happened, but she got reelected. This is the same mayor that closed, I believe it was 15, 17 rooming houses in the city and won't do anything to help people that need it the most. A bunch of rooming houses were tore down and brand new rental apartment buildings are being built. The problem with this is that none of it is affordable housing. Out of the 5 places that I've seen being built in the downtown Moncton area right now, the cheapest place was a 1-bedroom apartment. They want $675 a month plus utilities for it, and if you need parking, that's extra. It's about $50 a month extra. So $650 plus hydro in this city. in this province. On a good month, you're looking at, like, I mean, a low month, you're looking at about $60, $80. During the winter time, you're looking at about $400 or $500 and up a month just for hydro. So it's impossible for people we have one of the highest unemployment rates in Canada, the east coast of Canada. And it's not just New Brunswick, but PEI, Nova Scotia, and Newfoundland. We are the lowest. Like, we have the highest unemployment rate, I mean. New Brunswick is, if you lose, a lot of people lost their job during this pandemic, and a lot of people had to go on social assistance because either they didn't have enough hours for unemployment or stuff like that. So, or the unemployment ran out because it's only good for so long. And then, if you lose your job, you lose your job. So a lot of people wound up having to go to social services and asking for welfare assistance. In that process, people have lost their apartments, their vehicles. They would have to sell off possessions just to make ends meet so that they could feed their families. And the homeless rate is increased. Now, you won't hear about that on mainstream media. Mainstream media will not cover stuff like this because it has no benefit to them. So, because it's no benefit, that means that there's no big corporations that will actually back to pay for advertising or anything about this stuff. So they just don't cover it. I had a producer from CTV in Halifax. The guy's name is Bill Dix. And he told me that even though the story that I've been trying to get out there is a verifiable one, because it involves government police and government officials, they will not cover it. And that came straight out of Bill Dix's mouth. And he is the producer at CTV Atlantic in Halifax. And this is what he told me. Global TV pretty much told me the same thing, and CBC won't do it because, well, CBC is owned by the government, so the CBC can't say anything bad about the government, because if they did, then they would probably get shut down or lose funding or something like that. And in fact, as far as I'm concerned, the CBC should be defunded. It should actually be stopped, shut down completely. Okay, we don't need state-owned fucking television. We don't, because all they're doing is saying what the state wants you to say or what the government wants you to say. So the CBC, as far as I'm concerned, is nothing but a crock of shit. The best thing about CBC is Hockey Night in Canada, and they don't even own the rights to that anymore. It's all owned by Rogers, so which is Sportsnet, and that was the only good thing about the CBC was Hockey Night in Canada. Now that it's pretty much gone, I never watched any shows on CBC for the last, 30 years or so. I refuse to watch CBC because I've seen the bullshit that they come out with. Their television productions that they have are some of the cheapest in the world. You can tell it's Canadian just by watching it. And you can tell it was done by the CBC just by watching it, or one of their groups, whether it's GEM or whatever. But yeah, it's done by CBC, so you can tell. You know, there's some of the worst shows on TV is done by the CBC, and technically by any major fucking broadcaster. We do have a few good shows that are on other Canadian channels, but I've never seen one on CBC yet. The worst part of the CBC is the news, period. I've never really seen anything that's resembled investigative reporting, so at all. And, you know, like I said, I'm 54 and I've never seen anything, you know, any actual investigative reporting on CBC at all. Now, don't get me wrong, CTV is the same way. Bell Media, which is Much Music and Much More Music and MTV Canada and Discovery Channel and all those, that's all Bell Media, and which is CTV. They don't believe in telling the truth. Global surely won't tell the truth. And Rogers, well, they're afraid to tell the truth because if they actually told the truth, they might lose their $8 billion contract that they have with the fucking NHL. So, you know, what other stations are out there? All the other stations are owned by these 3 or 4 major companies here in Canada. Well, CBC and all of their fucking little music stations and GEM and stuff like that, that's owned by the government. CTV is probably the biggest. Bell Media is probably the biggest one here. They were the ones who bought out City TV. City TV, the City TV group, or the Chum Media group, was actually split up between Bell Media and Rogers Media. So Rogers got a bunch of the news programming stations like the CP24 stations and stuff like that. And Bell Media got all the Much Music and Discovery channels and all that, all the specialty stations that way. That was all done by Bell Media. So you have Rogers, you have CBC, you have Bell Media, and then we also have a couple other smaller companies, Shaw and Kojiko, that run like a small little station in here and there, but they're all basically, they go under the CRTC, and they all go by the same thing. Don't expose government corruption because we could lose money from big donors. Now, I would rather have 1 million people supporting me at $1 a week than I would have, say, one corporation that's willing to pay $10 million. Because that million people at $1 a week would still give me $1 million, would still give $1 million. But you'd be reaching 1 million people. You wouldn't be reaching just a few. So, would you stop? You're not getting anything right now. So, I see I've been on here for 1 hour and 35 minutes. I've been going off about pretty much everything. I see that Dan L doesn't want to fucking back up his words or anything. I see that there's 2 people in here. Can you give me a guess? Let me know who's in here right now. And oh, down to 1. Well, I guess Dan left. So I'm going to end this for now. But this is far from over. Far from over. You guys want to go around calling me a racist and that on my fucking channel, you're going to get called out. You guys want to go around and say that I haven't done anything in this community, I'm going to prove you wrong. You want facts about stuff that I know about and I can prove? Don't ask if you don't want them. Simple as that. I've been doing this way too long to be given a fuck about what other people think anymore. Okay? You want proof? I'm willing to show the proof that I know. And if you can't handle the truth, well then, sorry about your luck. Anyways, folks, this is Mike, the Ashamed Canadian. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out NEFan. Like, share, and subscribe to NEFan, and also MCW Joker. Auditing for Accountability Newfoundland. He really needs a shout out. And I want everybody to go support these people. And don't forget that between MCW Joker, Johnny 5-0, James Freeman, and a bunch of other people will be in Glendale, Arizona later on this afternoon. And they will be live. And I ask that, people go and support these guys because they are the ones that are actually really out there on the front lines. Now, the States has 330 million people, 333 million people, something like that. There's over 300 million people more in the US than there is in Canada. So we don't have the people that they do down there doing this, mainly because most Canadians up here are too much of a pussy to pull out a camera and record a cop or a government official, because a cop will say, well, you can't do that. Well, you automatically believe everything a cop says. If a cop told you to lick his boots, you would probably lick his boots. Oh, Melvin. Yeah. Well, thanks, brother. But I'm still I was trying to. I gave him fucking 25 minutes, I think, to come up and to say something to prove what he'd put up there or something like that. But I left it up there so that everybody could see it and show how much of a dickhead this Dan L is. Because obviously he must be a dickhead if he's saying that I'm a racist. So how would you like it, Dan, if I just started saying that you're a child molester and put that out on the internet? How would you like that then? And it's pretty much the same thing as calling me a fucking racist. So anyways, folks, we need more Canadians to stand up and stop being pussies and start filming cops. And like I said, if you don't have a spot to put your video up, then, email me. My email is right there. labeled Mike85 at gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook, Mike Labeled. In brackets, it'll say Ashamed Canadian. You can also find me. I have a Facebook group called News Now Canada. You can post anything you want in there, especially if it comes to do with dirty cops and with government officials and that. So if you don't have that platform, please feel free to send me an email or to post it up on my channels, and I'll make sure that it gets posted everywhere. I'll send it to, I think my news group has about 1,800 people in it right now, so the news does get across quite quickly. A lot of the people that are in my news group are actually auditors also. I would say about 3/4 of the people that are sub to me on my YouTube channel are also auditors, and so the message will get out there. So I'm going to stop this because, as you can see, my cat's about to start pawing at me because he wants some treats. Look at that mouth on you. You look like a snake. Hey, want to say hi to everybody first? Hey guys, this is my therapy kitty, and his name is Peanut. And yes, he is named after the puppet Jeff Dunham. I didn't name him. I got him as a rescue, but he is my best friend, and he was like my kid. So I just wish it wouldn't shed so much. Anyways, folks, I am going to end this. Again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't always film the cops. And the message for the Kodiak RCMP, I am coming for that officer. I am coming for his job. So he either better retire or get the fuck out of the province. But I am coming after him, legally coming after him. I will do everything I can to make sure that he gets fired and that he gets sued. You want to come into my room and fucking arrest me for breach of peace in my own fucking bedroom and then hold me for 8 hours without charge? This ain't gonna happen anymore. This has happened too many times in the past, and it ain't happening anymore. And you guys all seen it. It was all done on live stream, so they can't say that this or that or anything else because the live stream is there. They can't say that I was threatening them or anything like that. Because none of that was put in a report. I've never gotten a copy of the report. They've refused to give me a copy of the report, and they refused to give me the other officers' names that were involved in this, including the desk sergeant at the time that was wearing a blue line flag on his uniform. So until I get that, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to make sure that these guys get what's coming to them, because that's what they keep saying to us. Well, you're going to get what's coming to you one of these days. Well, you're going to get what's coming to you one of these days. Now, I don't wish any harm on any of you. I might have said stupid things in the past, like I hope you get shot and stuff like that, but that's only my personal beliefs. And my personal beliefs are exactly that, personal beliefs. The number one killer of cops are cops, because you guys put the target on your backs to begin with. And if you guys wouldn't have done that, you wouldn't have all the retaliation that you have, and you would actually have people that would work with you. But no, you guys want to fucking hide behind qualified immunity all the time, and you want to fucking run around and use your badge like it's a fucking gold fucking shield, and that, and then you wonder why there's a disconnect between the police and the people that actually pay you. So any other business, if their employee treated their bosses the way the police treat the public, they'd be fired. Some of them would be put in jail for what they've done. You know, all a cop wants to do is grab a hold of you. I think that most cops have are sexual deviants. They want to be able to grow and everything. And hey, new guru, I was just finishing up here, but it's really good to see you. And so we the police are really getting to the point where people are just going to start ignoring them. People are going to start jumping them. I'm not suggesting any of this by any means, but the fact of the matter is that you guys are hiding behind a badge and a gun and qualified immunity and think that you can walk around and fucking ruin people's lives at a whim over nothing. You get to jump in them. I'll suggest it. It's a murder. Well, I know that if I seen another Derek Chauvin on someone's neck like that, I wouldn't give a fuck if I got shot or not. And that fucking other cop that was standing there, I would have went right through him. I wouldn't give a fuck. I would have went right through him, and I would have kicked Derek Chauvin right in the fucking face. I wouldn't have cared if I got shot or not. Okay? So that's just a message to you cops out there that think that you're going to get away with shit like that here, especially when I'm around anywheres that I see you and you do shit like that. Expect to get a kick in the face or a baseball bat in the fucking head or something, because I'm not going to put up with it. And I think that we as Canadians and as Americans, we need to stand up against this tyranny. And if we don't, we're all just being sheep. Okay? I'm not afraid to go out and say, fuck the police. You guys seen it right here. I told him to go fuck himself. I called him a fucking terrorist and everything right to his fucking face. I ain't afraid to say that shit. I ain't afraid to say it out on the street either, whether I got to spend another night in jail or not. I ain't afraid to say shit like that to these fucking terrorists. And if I'm not afraid to say shit like that, at least you can do is get out there with a fucking camera and record shit. And if you do record it, like I said, if you don't have the platform, email it to me. Fucking send it through my Facebook, anywheres. You know, you can find me on Twitter at Ashamed Canadian. I'm on BitChute as Ashamed Canadian. And on YouTube as Ashamed Canadian. On Facebook, Mike labeled Ashamed Canadian. On Facebook groups, News Now Canada. The only moral, sane, and responsible thing to do when you got a psychopath running around with a gun, dilute with the idea, with the authority, and looking to harm people for a paycheck is to I'm afraid to see this answer, but I bet you it's going to be true. And I love the way that new guru is. Shoots straight from the hip. And I love people that actually do that, straight up. If you have something to say, if I happen to say something that you don't like, or I mentioned something that might be a little bit off or something, if you fucking correct me in the chat why this is happening, I'm not going to hold that against you. I'm going to take that as a learning experience on my behalf. Like I said, I might be 54, but the day you stop learning is the day you die. Every day that you are on earth is a learning moment, period. You have to remember that. And the only thing that you have to do as a person is pay taxes and die. Now, there is one other thing, but I don't want to get into the race aspect of it or anything, because you'll get guys like fucking Dan L saying that I'm racist. So, but I have to stay Canadian and I have to die and pay taxes. Everything else is an option. I don't have to listen to a cop. I don't have to listen to a government official. I don't have to listen to a judge. I don't have to do anything. It's an option whether I do it or not. Now, will there be consequences? Quite possibly, but those are the consequences that I'm willing to take. Nazi dude is trying to censor the rest of my posts. Let's see if it goes through now. Pick the timer off and get rid of the problem. Well, new guru, I believe that too. I got banned from my own group plus Facebook and my news group just for saying that Justin Trudeau should be hung. That's all I said, and I was banned for 24 hours from making any post on my personal page or my group page, just for saying that. That's how tyrannical it is here. And yes, they might be out of the playoffs, but they're still my team. So I'm gonna. There's a few people I want to shout out here first. Censorship is due to fear. These tyrants are really scared shitless of us. And yes, they are, new guru. Censorship is due to fear. And a lot of it is fear to know the truth. And that's the problem, is that people don't want to know the truth. They just want to keep following along and just, oh, well, I have to get up, I have to go to work, I have to do this, I have to do that, and then I come home. If a police officer pulls me over, the first thing I do is I give him every fucking piece of information I can, and blah blah blah, and lay down and lick their boots, and bend over and take it in the ass or whatever. And these are the type of people that we have. Yes, I'm feared to be exposed, to face consequences, and fear to lose control. Yes, and that is very true. That they're afraid to be exposed. And they're certainly scared to be held accountable for any of their actions. And when that happens, they lose control. And then they flip it on you, because no one person in this country is better than anybody else. Justin Trudeau is no better than me. The cocksucker bleeds red, and he's a Canadian citizen. Yes, he might have a little bit more power, but he's not better. I probably have more education than Justin Trudeau does. I had in Ontario, we had to go to school to grade 13, and I went to grade 13, and then I went to Humber College. and did a 3-year course to become a community support worker so that I could work in social services. And then when I was out in Alberta, I went to the University of Calgary and became an addiction counselor, which was also a 3-year course that I had to take. So there's another 6 years on top of 13 that I've already done. And that's not counting in between working for social services and that. I worked in different industries and that. I've worked in the automotive industry and the housing industry, like building and construction and that, because one job was never enough for me. I always had to work at least 2 jobs in order to support my family. So I've worked several different jobs other than just working in the social service industry. I've helped build condominiums. I've helped build the sound barrier walls along the 401 in Toronto. I was one of the painters that painted all the numbers in that in the Sky Dome when it first opened up. So, you know, I've done all kinds of work. I know what it's like to be out there and work in minimum wage jobs. I've worked in A&W. I've worked in McDonald's. I've worked in Wendy's just so that I could survive when I was going to school. But it doesn't make me any less of a person than, say, Justin Trudeau or fucking anybody else in government, because we're all the same. Now, a lot of people might start bitching at me because I might get a little bit religious here, but God created Adam and Eve, okay? He didn't create Adam and Eve and then a special group of people. He created Adam and Eve, and no one is better than anyone else. Even in the Bible, it says that we should treat one another with respect and dignity, to love thy neighbor. You know, one of the biggest atrocities in life and one of the biggest contempt of cop or contempt of the oligarch or whatever, but basically the biggest contempt of cop ever was when Jesus was crucified, because he wouldn't listen to what the kings and the guys, the Romans, would say. So just for free speech. So just imagine, Jesus was literally crucified for free speech. And you guys can say whatever the fuck you want, okay? It might have been 2,000 years ago or whatever, blah, blah, blah. There was no free speech, blah, blah. But basically, if you come down to it, the First Amendment in the States is the same as Charter of Rights, Section 2 in Canada, which is the freedom of religion, which Jesus didn't have, which he was persecuted for. Freedom of press, which all of us as individuals going out and recording cops and government officials, or whether we're just reporting on it, we're being persecuted. If you tell a cop to go fuck himself, which is under the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, under free speech, you're being persecuted. You know, so what's the sense of having a Charter of Rights, especially here in Canada, when the people that are supposed to protect them actually go against them, and you have no retribution against them? That makes no sense. Why is there a Charter of Rights when we, the people, have to follow them, but the government doesn't? How is that fair to people? How is that? Big respect. Well, how long are you going for? I'm not going much longer, Gypsy Auditor UK. But I really appreciate you coming in, brother. And you know what? I've seen some of your work already. I really enjoy it. And you have been nothing but respectful every time I see you. So there's a wrench, brother. So, but, you know, what's the sense of having these charter of rights and freedoms if they're being abused by the people that say that we have them? And in order for you to actually get your charter of rights and freedoms heard and respected, you have to literally pay for them. You have to hire a lawyer, you have to file a lawsuit, and then you have to take it to court and do it that way. Thousands and thousands of dollars for something that's already in writing, that's part of our Constitution. And yet the police keep saying that here in Canada it's just a guideline. We actually don't need any charter or constitution, just one simple understanding. We have unlimited rights and nothing trumps the right, but if it's our responsibility to hold our rights and band together. This is true, or else we have none. This is true. Now, I believe in the fact that I was a religious person for a while. I actually went to school for a year, and I was going to be a pastor. So I went to ministry school for a year, and I got out of that. But so would you stop? You're fine. I believe that if we all started just respecting the 10 Commandments and basic fucking rule of law, like don't fuck kids, don't beat women, don't hurt animals, love thy neighbor, but not love thy neighbor but don't get caught. No, love thy neighbor as you would love yourself. If we went by those, we wouldn't need a constitution. And yet, when we go to court, what's the first thing that they want you to do when you're up on the stand? Is they want you to put your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand to God. Well, what if you're atheist? What if you're Muslim? You can't put your hand on the Bible. You can't swear to God. What's the sense? You do not believe in that, so why should you be swearing to it? And everything that's that you're putting your hand on to swear to, what they're persecuting you for is in the Bible saying that they shouldn't be. 9 times out of 10. Well, maybe not 9 times out of 10, but a lot of times, especially when it comes to the filming aspect and stuff like that in public. Basic moral is we do no harm. It covers everything, and that's true. If we all did no harm, if we all respected one another, walk down the street, if you see somebody with a camera, you jump in front and say, "Hi, Mom," instead of "fucking, I'm going to beat you." And the next thing you know, pepper spray's coming out, baseball bats, and stuff like that. Look at SGV News. He's been pepper sprayed. He was beat with a baseball bat just a few weeks ago. He's been jumped several times. He's had to pepper spray people for attacking him for walking down the street with a camera. Now, sometimes there might be some things that I may not agree with how they do it, but the fact that they're doing it and they're doing it their way, that is their right to do it that way. Who am I to criticize the way they do things? That would be like you guys criticize me for doing things. It just doesn't work. Furry was shot once, seen that the other day. I watched that one when Furry got shot. That was on live. Furry Potato. was live when she got shot by that guard at the synagogue. So I did see that live. Not quite sure of what actually happened, the outcome of it. I don't think that guard is a guard anymore. I don't know if he was actually charged and convicted or not. I've been trying to get a hold of Furry to actually do updates on some of her stuff, but yeah, so and it's not just people in California. Look at DPN in Chicago, gets pulled over for a seatbelt ticket for wearing a seatbelt. Bullshit. Them putting hands on them, pushing them around. Look at Acura Amanda getting a fucking stupid fucking jaywalking ticket when where she was actually crossing the road was legal. But there was butthurt cops that because she exposes them, they retaliated against her. And this is the problem, is that we have too much retaliation in the police. And we need to start retaliating against them. And by the looks of it, this thing with James Freeman and a bunch of other people over in Glendale this afternoon, this is one way of doing it. Stand out there and start say, I ain't going anywhere, motherfucker, or I'll stand right here, motherfucker, or go fuck yourself, pig. Free speech is free speech. You may not like it, but it's still free speech. And if you don't like it that much, then maybe you shouldn't be a cop. Now, I've never seen such a butthurt bunch of fucking pussies in my life as I have. Hey, Slow Burner, how you doing, brother? You know what? Slow Burner, you need this. There you go, sir. Cops need more training, period. At least a year of law before going into the police academy. And in the police academy, they should be taught the law also. Not just policy, not just how to take somebody down, not just defensive driving, not just weapons trainings, not just knowing the difference between a taser and a fucking gun. I know that all you fucking officers out there that carry a taser have been shot with a taser. It's part of the training. But you guys don't do it the way you do it to us. You fucking zip and bang, it's done, it's over with. When you do it to us, you zip and bang and you fucking keep on going. Look at what you did in fucking Vancouver at the YVR to that guy. 5 times you fucking tased him. What about the guy in Glendale that got tased in the nuts? What about all these other guys that have been tased for no reason? Cops pulling tasers out for no reason. Then you got female cops that are pulling out so-called tasers just to find out that they're live firearms. So let's just get rid of cops. We don't need them. They're not in service to us anyway. They are trying boss. Their boss meaning. What we need is self-responsible people to do. We put 20 armed people in a room together and suddenly love their neighbor makes a whole lot more sense. This is true. The problem with that is here in Canada, we don't have the right to bear arms. We're like England. We're, kind of basically still under British rule, but we're not. Most of our laws are British laws. Most of our Charter of Rights is actually from the U.S. Constitution, almost word for word. But again, Your First Amendment is our second. We don't have a Second Amendment in Canada. We don't have the right to bear arms. We're allowed to have hunting weapons that must be registered, but we're not allowed to. You can't have a concealed carry. You can't open carry in Canada. And that law was changed after a guy got out of Stony Mountain Prison. I believe it was in 92 or something like that. He'd spent 25 years in Stony Mountain Prison, and when he was released, upon his release, because it was in the Constitution, the government had to give him $10 cash, a horse, and a gun. Because it was in our Constitution. Now, our Constitution has been changed since, it might have even been in the 80s, 86, somewhere's around there anyways, but our Constitution was changed because of that. Because the government literally had to give him a gun, a horse, the bullets, and the $10. So, it goes to show that, you know, they can change the Constitution when they want. Nationality, sheepism, and indoctrination. There's someone else said so because we said so, and we are all equal. That's true. And not only did we say so, but we can go back. You want to go biblically? We can go back biblically. Going back, way back, it's been proven that the people have the rights. That's why kings and queens no longer really exist in this world. Yeah, you might have the Queen of England, but what does she do? She's a fucking face on money. That's it. She gets paid royalties from countries that are under British rule. So we don't have kings and queens anymore. We have elected officials that are there to be there for us. We're the ones who put them in there. We're the ones that went on promises. And we're the ones that voted for their promises. So when they go in and they start promising, and they're going to do this, they're going to do that, they're going to change this, they're going to change that. And this is how people get elected, is because they say that they're going to do things. But when they get elected, what do? Look at Mike Harris in Ontario. He said that if he got elected, that he would help out the healthcare system and that.
Going now.
When he got elected as Premier of Ontario, he closed 13 hospitals within fucking 4 months. That's how he helped out the healthcare system. Justin Trudeau, when he ran on his promise to become Prime Minister, was the fact that he wanted to get rid of all the bullshit that was in government. He wanted to legalize marijuana, and he wanted a basic income for people in Canada. And what did he do? He legalized marijuana, made it tougher to get accountability out of the government, and you know, it's been over 5 years and he still hasn't done anything for the people that are actually the poorest in this country. Like I said, I worked for over 30 years in the social service industry. I lost my pension because I quit during a strike. So the only thing that I live on is disability. I get $799 a month, and if nobody believes me, I will pull out and I will show you every check stub from the last fucking year and a half. That's all I live on, is $799 a month. Bo Hunter Auditing, how you doing, brother? I like you too. So there's a lot of people that are stopping in. And hey, I appreciate every one of you guys that are stopping in. I know that this rant's been going on for what 2 hours and 15 minutes now, but and I'm going to stop it soon. Unless anybody has any questions that they want to ask me. I know there's only about 4 or 5 of you in here right now, but if there's any questions that you guys have for me, I'm an open book. Okay, you you can ask me anything. I'll tell you. You want to know what I was charged with my whole life? I'm willing to tell you. Um, so if I thought I made you. Oh no, I did. Okay. Bow hunter auditing. The next time you say something, you'll have a wrench. So there was a couple of people that I was hoping would stop over. But for some reason they wouldn't today. I wanted to clear the air on my channel, but it seems like they don't want to clear the air. So I'm just going to let it drop. And, you know, if that's the way they want to be, get butthurt, then let them be butthurt. I really don't give a fuck anymore. This is the way that I have to deal with things now, is that you guys seen that Dan L calling me a fucking racist and everything. I got people out there saying that I've never done this, I've never done that, I don't know what I'm talking about, shit like that. But not one of you guys have ever lived in my shoes. Not one of you guys have ever, I bet you, not one of you have ever chained yourself together with 150 other people to make changes in your country. Okay? How many of you guys have actually gone to jail trying to make change? I bet you not many of you. There's some of you that may be going to jail for doing what you're doing and stuff like that. But how many are actually trying to make a change? You know, you can't count people like PayPal Patty. As far as I'm concerned, that guy shouldn't be on the internet. But hey, you want to go around, set up your own friends and shit like that, you go and do that. But you just stay the fuck away from me. One huge challenge people have to get over is that democracy is a failed experiment. It's a form of dictatorship, and it is a criminal, systematic way. And it's true. We have, like here in Canada, we got Justin Trudeau working with the Chinese government. Fact. Proven fact. Thank you, Ash, my first wrench. Oh, wow. Well, congratulations, Bow Hunter. So, oh crap, I was just forgot what I was about to say there. Hello, AC from Dover, Jim. Hey, David Davids. I thought I did this for you already, but you know what? I have to do it. Yes. You are also now have a wrench. I got mad respect for you, David Davids, and mad respect for everybody else in here also. You guys are the ones that are able to go out there more than I am. I have a lot of health issues, so it's hard for me to get out, or I would be out there all the time. I spent a few hours in the hospital again today, this first thing this morning. So it's hard when sorry, not this morning, yesterday morning. Yesterday morning. Yes. So, they're all starting to just blend together because I wind up there so often that it's hard for me to go around and do anything. And just so that, like, I have to walk around with this, just so that you guys can see. This is not for asthma. This is nitro spray for my heart. Now I have another one that I carry in my bag at all times, and I always have this one here around, so that when I go out, I always have one, and I always have one here at home. And my name's right on it, so it's not like I'm using somebody else's fucking medication or anything else like that. This is what I have to live with. I've had 2 heart attacks. I've had a bad seizure behind the wheel where I rolled my truck. I could be walking down the street and I pass out all the time. It's like a type of seizure, but it's not. It's not like a grand mal seizure or anything like that. I could just be walking and I just pass out, and I'm out for about 3 to 5 minutes. I've whacked my head quite a few times. I've got lumps all over the back of my head and the side of my head. Front tooth I lost because of a fucking onto the concrete. Side tooth from narcolepsy. Yes, that is narcolepsy, slow burner. And it sucks because it all happened after I was really beat up bad and left for dead by the Toronto police. And I've been having problems ever since 2000. I kept driving for the longest time. I was able to control what happened. But after my heart attack, my second heart attack, when those cops came in and beat on me in my bedroom and falsely charged me, I haven't been right since. And it was then that I ended up rolling my truck, doing 100 kilometers an hour. You guys in the States, that's 62.5 miles an hour. But I rolled my truck at doing 100 kilometers an hour on the Shediac 4-lane. And I haven't been allowed to drive since. I lost all my operator's tickets. Like I said earlier, not only have I worked in the social service industry, but I've worked in construction and automotive and that also. One of my very first jobs, I was 13 years old and I was doing roofing. By the time I was 15, I had my own vehicle, company vehicle that I was allowed to use because I was actually got my license when I was 15. So I've done a lot of different work, and when I do these, go to different places and do work, the best thing for me to do is to get my ticket. So I was working for a construction company, and they paid for all my operators' tickets. I had the scissor lift and boom, Raymond Reach, Sidewinder, excavator, dozer, backhoe. If it had tracks or wheels on it, I was licensed to drive it. The only thing that I wasn't allowed to drive was emergency vehicles. That here in Canada, you need a special license to drive emergency vehicles. Now, I've also taken one of the best defensive driving classes in the world, and that was through the Richard Petty driving school in the States. I'd taken that way back in the early 80s. Because I was trying to get into racing at the time, for one. But I also I took it because of all the idiots that are on the road that I've seen. Now, in my whole time that I had my driver's license, I had been pulled over twice. Once because my tail light literally burnt out in front of a cop, and he pulled me over to tell me, and I fixed it on the spot. No ticket, no nothing. And the second time, I was pulling at a Canadian Tire parking lot. They were closed. I missed them by 5 minutes. They were closed, and the cop pulled me over because my headlight was out. He asked me if I knew why he pulled me over. I told him exactly. I know why. I said, my headlights burnt out. As you can see, I just pulled out a Canadian Tire. They're closed. So he let me on my way. No ticket, no nothing. Didn't even ask me for my driver's license. So I've never had as much as a parking ticket in my life. I had what's called a 6-star insurance rating for 3 vehicles. I had a 96 Dodge Ram. I had a 2005 Volkswagen GTI and a 2010 Dodge Ram 2500. And all 3 of them, my insurance full coverage was only $168 a month for all 3 vehicles. Now, when I first started with just a 96 Dodge Ram, it was $38 a month. But because my new truck was a new truck at the time, the insurance was a little higher. That's all. But never had as much as a parking ticket. And then I ended up losing all my operator's tickets, my driver's license and everything. And now it's hard for me to get around. Things are spread out a bit. I don't believe in public transit at this point because it's mandatory that you wear a mask, even though the drivers don't. And so I try to walk a lot. So it's hard to get around when you don't have a license. I can't drive a bicycle. You get too much energy in that as your heart starts racing. Me with a bad heart, next thing you know, I'm on the fucking ground. I could be in front of a transport truck. Could be in front of a taxi, which is even worse. Driving a bicycle is just not an option for me. The same with an electric scooter or anything like that. Some people profess you need an independent agency for tire and accountability, but such stuff. I think what we need really is, I hate to say this, but we the people need to, when we start seeing cops do wrong, start surrounding them and grabbing them and throwing them on the ground and fucking using their own handcuffs against them and putting them in cuffs. Maybe even the odd knee on the neck on some of them, just to show them what it's like. But we also need to be able to have a jail strictly for these guys. We the people need to run these jails, not them. Because when a cop does go to jail, you can guarantee that he's in protective custody Nobody's going to touch him. All the guards are going to be there for him. He's going to have more privileges than other people. Someone should have done that to the conference. Yes, they should have, any fan. And like I said, if I was there, I would have taken the bullet, but I would have ran right through that fucking Officer Tao or whatever his name was, just standing there. I would have ran through him and kicked Derek Chauvin right in the fucking face. I wouldn't have cared if I got shot or pepper sprayed or not, but it might have saved George Floyd's life. But that's what we, the people, need to start doing. When we start seeing cops acting up, we, the people, need to start grabbing them and throwing them on the ground and fucking using their stuff against them. Because this has gone on too far. Peg them in the head, hang them in public, and this shit will come to an end. Yeah, ashamed, I can honestly say I've mouthed off to a few cops during intense scenes, but never had an interview like that. But would you? Oh, here, 1 second, folks. Yeah. The cat's being an asshole, so. But if we don't, it just doesn't make sense to me in this day and age. I know how it goes. Yeah. Can anybody tell me when the camera was invented? I know exactly when it was, sorry, not invented, but when it was made for the public. And yes, new guru, that's true. We need to start standing up. If you see somebody doing something wrong, any fan, sorry. But so everybody knows, the camera was brought out as a Polaroid, or was it Canon or Polaroid? Anyways, the first camera come out for mass production for the public was in 1888. So we're talking 131 years, 133 years the camera's been around, and yet all of a sudden in the last 10 it's become a problem. I remember as a kid, even when a cop is given a ticket in a room, my cop is trying to trespass in a room. It's not their job. It's time for the boss is not their job. That's true. A cop can't really charge you for trespassing, period. A cop can't tell you that you're trespassing unless somebody makes a report stating that they do not want you on your property. Then and only then, you're misunderstanding it. You should come by later on the day. Said, yeah, I will show up, any fan. I'm not the type of person that wants to hold grudges or anything. I got no grudge whatsoever. I got mad respect for him. I really do. Mad respect for Mike. Just like I have mad respect for you. You guys are one of the few people that actually reached out and actually helped and showed that you guys are not only just YouTube peers, but it seems like we're more of friends than anything. And around to have friends that are willing to support you no matter what, um, those are friends that people need. And you guys went above and beyond. And Ethan, you don't know how much I appreciate what you did. You really don't. Now, you know, it helped me so much that I was able to actually do something and to be able to feel better about myself. And you know, I know you guys are always there. If I ever do something like this, you guys are usually there to support me. If I show up on someone's panel, you guys are there to support me. And I appreciate that 110 million%. And I would do anything just, that's what, man. It might have been a small gesture to you, Annie, but it was a big one to me. It got me out of a situation that probably could have put me in the hospital. So, but this is this is an ongoing thing that I've been going through lately, and every day it seems like it's getting rougher and rougher, and there's a lot of days that I just want to say fuck it and give up. That I'm tired of the fight, but I can't. For some reason, I just can't get away from it because it's affected my life so much for so long. And I've seen what it's done to people. How, I had a cousin that literally lost her house because of some bullshit that a cop, because she spent 7 months in jail for nothing, to come out to find out that the bank foreclosed on her house while she was in jail fighting this. And she lost her house and everything in it. I've seen people, like I said, I've worked in Canada's largest men's shelter. Back in the 80s, Seton House in Toronto used to have between 17 and 1,800 people there a night in one building. And I've seen it all. I've seen people stabbed. I've seen people beaten to death. I've seen people fucking OD'd, their throats sliced. You name it, I've seen it in these places. And it's taken a toll on me, don't get me wrong. But what's worse is the fact that the way that the cops, even the people that are in housing and that are, low income, there are no good cops, only tyrants and those who don't deal with tyrants. That's true. Unfortunately, I have to a little disagree with that. In the over 35 years that I've been fighting and stuff like that, I've only met one out of thousands over the years. I've only met one cop that actually apologized for arresting me, but explained to me why he had to do it, and then go out of his way and fucking drive me from the police station to the fucking pharmacy to get my medication, wait for me there, and then take me from the pharmacy and drop me off at my house. He didn't have to do that. But he did because he knew what was going on was bullshit, but he had to follow the rules. But he apologized for doing it, even though he did it. So for him to actually come out and say something like that and then go above and beyond the call of duty by taking me to the pharmacy and then driving me home and shit like that after I was charged with bullshit. And it was proven it was all bullshit. They couldn't even fucking charge me. But he's the only one that actually I can say was a good cop. He never tried to jump me or anything at the time. It was his partner that jumped me, and then he had to get involved because he was afraid for his partner's life that I might do something. So, but his partner was the one that initiated all of it, and he was an older guy, and he found out the hard way that what he'd done was wrong, and unfortunately, I tried to put in complaints about that, and I'll step away and we'll see you at Mike's later. Yes, you will see me there, brother. You take care, and thank you for all you've done for me, brother. I really appreciate everything. So, I know I said this a while ago, but I do have to shut this down at 2 hours and 42 minutes here. I appreciate every one of you that come in. And he wasn't choosing morale is pretty good. Yeah. Not to rush you. Apologize. Tyrant is still a tyrant. This is true. He still is a tyrant. But he was nice about it. So I don't really know what else to say about that except for he was trying to be nice about it anyways. And, he even apologized and everything. So I am going to sign off. I got this song sent to me. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. Yes, New Guru, yes. I see your point. I really do. And just so you guys know, I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but this is a group called Three Scotch Inn, and they're from BC, out around Penticton. And I have exclusive rights to be able to play their music. This is sort of like my way of going out, signing off, sorry. Can you guys, I see that there's 6 of you here. Can you guys give me 5 or 6 of you here? Can you guys give me a 1 if you can hear this music? A 2 if you can't. Oh, cool. Thanks, Slow Burner. So, like I said, I can prove I have permission to play this music straight from the owner. Anytime, Guru, anytime. I'll extend just to have you up. Desert Goat. You like that song? Don't mind me. I just like to be able to play a little bit of music. It helps calm me down. And it's a good way to finish off a show, I think. So, of our own court system of jail. Yeah. Oh, sorry, folks. Oh. Sorry, but kitty cat wanted back in. Yep, so I'm going to shut down for now, and I really hope that every one of you guys have a really great day, and please go check out Three Scotch Inn. A great Canadian band. One of my favorite songs by them is called Bong Toke. So go check them out and tell them that I sent you. You never know, you may wind up with a nice welcome package that I have coming. So again, check out Three Scotch Inn. Peanut, stop, please. Everybody go to check out Slow Burner. Check out New Guru. Check out Desert Goat. Check out Epic Cop Watch. Dirty Mike. Now, we also have some of the later bow hunter, and you stay safe as well, my brother. Here, check out BC Paul audits, also Orange Man audits, News Now Victoria, Canadian Rights ET, Canadian Rights Media, Canadian Rights Review, Canadian Rights Transparency, and go to Auditing for Accountability NL. Check him out. He's doing some great work over there in Newfoundland. They got quite the tyrants over there too. So go and check out these guys. And don't forget, we have some of the biggest ones in the States here, like San Joaquin Valley Transparency, that whole family, Nate Skeets 182, Sam Joaquin Jr., Alias. And if you really want to hear some really good background stories and stuff like that, go check out DPN. The guy's done some amazing work. Also, go to J Surreal Camera, Acura Amanda, Big Nick, Rogue Nation, Rights Crispy. Stop. Go to these guys, check out, see what they're doing. But just remember that if you're Canadian, look for Canadian accountability people. And don't be afraid to pick up a camera. Please don't ever be afraid to pick up a camera. If you are in the public and you see a cop, pull out your camera. They cannot stop you from recording. And like I said, if you don't have a platform to put it on, send it to me and I will be more than willing to post your videos. So until the next time, remember, all cops are terrorists, and always, always, always record the police. Take care, and I will see you soon, folks.